everybody. Welcome to another Comic Source Comic Boom collaboration. It's time for unboxing. First
Woohoo!
off, I want to say thanks to Rocky for joining. So, interest of full disclosure, I buy comics, eBay, Kickstarter, other places online, and I typically open them when I get them. But somehow things started to build up, and then it became a thing, and then you have so much, it's going to take so long, and so then it builds up and builds up. Now, I don't recommend that you ever do this. I'm gonna share my screen. Rocky will put it up, and you guys will be able to see just the nonsense that I had here. And so the problem is, with all this stuff, some of it's I've had it for over a year, maybe 18 months. If there's something wrong with it, I have no recourse to return it. I have no way of saying, "Hey, I bought this from you, and it wasn't what was ever." I don't even remember, right? So I don't recommend that you ever do this, ever. Don't ever do this. Uh, but again, I didn't want to open it all myself. It's kind of lonely and like reverse Christmas. So Rocky agreed to join me. I'll pull the stuff out. It'll probably spark some conversation. So I appreciate him
Yeah, and
doing
we're
this. And
drinking. This is unboxing and
yeah,
drinking, my friend. Yes.
yeah. And so as we're recording this, everybody, it's Friday. So happy Friday to everybody. We'll say a little cheers, my old fashioned here.
Yeah.
And and the other thing that I'll mention real quick, we're dying to talk about Black Adam. We purposely have not discussed the movie amongst ourselves because we want to save it all for organic conversation when we do the video. So that should be coming either later today or tomorrow. So look out for that. And we're going to kind of do that in two parts, where the first part we'll talk about what we think might be beneficial for you to know or possibly read before you go see it. And then the second half, we'll talk about the movie itself and get kind of spoilery. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. First book here. Again, I have no idea what any of this stuff is, and I don't recommend doing this. Because again, I have no recourse for any of this stuff. Most of the stuff, the packages I cut open, but of course,
Yeah.
once you
No
open,
address or anything on them or nothing or what?
there is, but again, it's been so long that I don't remember who I bought what from. Oh, okay. So I definitely remember picking these up, specking on this. So
Oh,
this is DC Comics Presents 87. First appearance of
nice.
Superboy Prime, which is one of my favorite characters. A
Yeah.
bit meta. Jeff
At one
Johns.
time that was I thought it was a $50 comic raw at one time during the height of
Really?
2021. I think. Yeah, it was pretty. But I don't. The spec was pretty good on it, but leading up to Death Metal anyway. But probably not so much anymore. But it's still a good
Yeah.
comic to get.
Yeah, it has come down. So this is from Third Eye Comics, which is a comic shop in Maryland, a chain of comic shops. It's where Tom King frequents his kind of local shop there. So this is probably some kind of special variant. Yeah, I don't even remember
I,
ordering that.
what is it?
It's
What's the
gold
comic?
foil. It's a gold foil of some sort. Um, so again, like
So,
this is like
somebody's watching and probably freaking out, saying, "Oh my God, you got the gold foil of the whatever that is."
yeah, and I have no idea what this is or why I got it. Now the other part of this, so this could be some kind of a special book from one of the. Okay, so yeah, it is. So it's actually from Tiny Onion Studios. So this is James Tynan's Substack. So that's why I got
Oh,
this sent to me.
nice.
So this is the gold foil version of The Closet #1 is what this is. And so he partnered up with Third Eye Comics in his neck of the
Right.
woods to do the fulfillment. So that's what that is. So yeah, that's
Nice.
probably worth a little bit of money there based on how exclusive it is. Because I did sign up to be a founding member of Tynan's Tiny Onion.
That's pretty good.
And they just announced that they're doing a movie. Him and Elsa Chartier and somebody else that she partners up with all the time. And it's on Kickstarter right now, and it already funded. So
Right, a movie like an actual movie or an animated movie or
a short horror film
oh wow,
is what it is, and there's going to be a comic for it as well on her Kickstarter and his Kickstarter. So, all right, no idea again what this is. What is it? Oh,
oh yeah, 52.
New 52. What issue is it?
Hmm.
Number 7.
How is
This
that?
is the first appearance of Kate Kane.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Really?
not Batwoman. She's Batwoman. First appearance I think in 13, but
Right.
this is Kate Kane's first appearance.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, specking on that a little bit as well.
Right on.
And again, I tend, when I get spec, I tend to spec more on DC stuff than Marvel stuff, just because everybody specs on Marvel stuff.
That's right. Yeah, like DC's a little cheaper that way too.
Yeah. Okay. And this looks like some more specs. So more
nice.
52, and this is a lot. So I probably got this because it might have that first Kate Kane.
Yeah, or even the Black Adam. There's a fifth that series has the first Isis and the first Isis and the first.
So there's the first Kate Kane, and Isis. The first one is what, week 3, right?
I can't remember.
I just looked it up last night when I got back from the movie. So yeah, first Isis 52 week 3, and then so that must have been why I bought this lot, because it had week 7, so first Kate Kane and the first Isis. So yeah, I probably should put that one up right now. That'll probably be never be hotter, or maybe as soon as they announce Black Adam 2 with Sarah Shahai playing Isis, might be when that peaks.
She's an attractive actress.
Yeah,
very easy on the eyes.
I didn't. Well, we'll talk more about it tomorrow, but I almost didn't recognize her, and I thought it was her, and then she came on the screen, and I was like, wait, I thought it was her, then it wasn't. Then yes, it is. All right, see, I cut these open, but then this guy's put literally 3, it's like rushing nesting dolls. Oh, all right, well, how about that? There you go. Oh, yeah. There's another Kate Kane stuff. So.
Yeah, this is what happens when you order all your stuff while you've been drinking. You've ordered you got 3 of everything.
Well, I mean, yeah. Typically, I'll go when I do that. When I'm specking on something, I'll go on eBay and I'll look for it, and if there's like 4 of them that are a good price, so there you go.
Nice.
There's the first appearance of Batwoman in number 11. So 2 first appearances of Kate Kane and the first appearance of Batwoman. And this one was in a lot as well. I've got some other issues, 51 and 52. And another first appearance of Isis in that as well. So
that's good spec. It's good.
And then there's Isis's first cover appearance.
That's right. Yeah.
With Black Adam, you can see there. That's issue 12 of 52. So yeah, and typically when I get lots like that, I only buy them if I can get them less than $1 a book.
Yeah, and I did a video about a year ago on Black Adam spec, and because Marvel's getting all the spec, I think people are sleeping. Too many people are sleeping on Black Adam spec. There's so many fantastic Black Adam comics out there, like first appearances, second, like significant events starring Black Adam, and now's the time to buy that stuff. But,
it might have been a month ago. Might have been the time. We'll see how hard the movie hits. All right, do you know what this is?
Yeah, first appearance of Mongol.
Yep, first appearance of Mongol, Jim Starlin creation. After he created Thanos over at Marvel, came over to DC, created Mongol. So that's a DC Comics presents Spider-Man and Martian Manhunter. It's a little faded on the cover, but yeah, this again I think was about a $50 book raw at one point.
Yeah,
it was. But I think I paid somewhere around $10.
Nice. I still have my reading copy. I think it's about a 3.0 condition. It's the one I bought off the rack back in the day. So it's awesome.
Oh, bought off the rack?
Yeah. Mine's a 3.0. It's terrible. Well, I read the piss out of it. Back in the day where I actually, I was a purist. I read the comics. God forbid.
Yeah, in fact, now that you mention it, I had a reader copy of that first appearance of Superboy Prime at one point, and when I went to look for it earlier this year, I couldn't find it. That's part of the reason that I got that copy, because I couldn't find mine. But again, my original one that I bought off the rack probably wasn't even in very good shape. The other thing I've noticed is how wildly different people pack things in doing this. So this is a big lot of books, and they're not even individually bagged and boarded. They're just in one big bag. So no idea what these are. Because the back cover, each side has a back cover. So, okay. So this is a DC Comics Present lot. Speaking of DC Comics Presents.
Nice.
So, yeah, I've been trying to work on my run. Some of these are going to be duplicates for me because it just, again, made sense. I probably paid, less than $1 a book for these.
Yeah. If you
don't
fluke
know.
off the Captain Comet one that's the Whitman edition, that one's really ultra rare. That's the one to
Yeah,
look out for.
I don't know if any of these. Oh, there's the second appearance of Mongol.
Oh yeah, nice. That's
Flash, Hawkman. I don't know if there's any of the keys. Some of these are not. Some of these are not in the best shape. Superman and Black Canary.
nice.
Oh,
I
this is
love that run.
yeah. Here's another one that is a. It's this Superman Wonder Woman kissing on the cover.
Yeah,
That was hot for a while, but yeah, this is definitely a reader copy. It's not in the best shape. I don't know if you can see on the top there that it's got like a
yeah, some scrapes, but
thicker scraper. Yeah,
I love
something.
that run. I love that run. And I remember later on. I think Mark Wade did a Brave and the Bold run that reminded me of that Superman run, uh, a more modern day one. But it was yeah, it's a
Man,
great series. Great series.
yeah. I remember buying this off the rack, but just because it was Bizarro. Huge
Yeah,
Bizarro fan when I was a kid.
right on.
So yeah, there's a big stack of that. And again, I'm just trying to put together a run of that. So, and again, I sometimes I wonder. I mean, I did have I don't know if you guys know this, but I did have my own comic shop for a while. So I think a lot of times when I'm books that I remember buying as a kid that I don't have anymore, I probably sold. Somebody came into the shop when I had
Yeah.
my
How
shop.
long were you a comic shop owner?
Just for a year. I picked the worst time to open. I opened in '94, right before the crash. I didn't lose my shirt, but here's a few more: Forgotten Villains, Ambush Bug,
Nice.
Forgotten Heroes. Or if there's any other keys in here, Wonder Woman. Yeah, like where's my a couple of the annuals? Where's my Masters of the Universe, right? Or my first.
That's
Appearance?
exactly right. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure those weren't in there. These newer ones are in much better shape though. Adam Strange, Challengers of the Unknown. That's a
That's a Kirby cover.
cover.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Nicely done.
but I actually have that. I think it's DC Comics Presents that has the first appearance of the Teen Titans. I actually have that, my original copy that I bought off the newsstand where he teams up with Green Lantern. But yeah, again, it's probably a 3.0 maybe
Oh.
because yeah, read it till the cover was falling off. So up next here. I appreciate these people packaging things so well, but when you're trying to unbox quickly, it does make it a challenge. I have my
Yeah. Be careful.
utility knife here. Yeah, I don't want to slice open something that I paid a good amount of money for. Oh, okay, I know what this is. Another spec. This one is Marvel this time. And again, during the pandemic, I talked a lot about how I was putting together a run of Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh,
So
nice.
that is the first appearance of Captain Marvel, the Monica Rambeau version.
That's right. That's worth a good amount of money raw. Isn't that like 30 or $40 raw or
Yeah,
more than that?
I've been looking for this for a while, and typically this is what I'll do when I need a book for a run that's become a key. I'll set myself, okay, I'm not paying more than this price. I'll set myself a ceiling,
Yeah.
and then I'm just patient. So I think my ceiling on this was like $27.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure exactly what I paid for it, but including shipping,
Yeah.
it was less than $27.
Nicely done.
And I only do that if it's in the condition I want to. So you can see those are some sharp corners.
That's right. That's got to bring satisfaction. It's always good satisfaction in the hunt, and especially when you get your
Yep.
prey. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice
this is
shape.
really good shape. Which again, to my point earlier, don't like. What if that hadn't been? What if it had been like trashed, or
Yeah.
wasn't the one in the picture from eBay? I got it so long ago, I wouldn't have been able to say to the guy, "Hey, this isn't what probably not even listed on my eBay history anymore because I got it so long ago." So yeah, don't wait too long to open your stuff like I did. Oh, speaking of Amazing Spider-Man. There's another one to fill my run, one of the few ones I needed. So, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first appearance of Agent Venom, I believe, which is Flash Thompson, Venom character. And this is the second appearance, which is this is a point issue. So the other one was 654, and this is 654.1. So I'm missing like 4 or 5 books from 200 up to present, and those were a couple of them. I was missing about 7. Now I'm down to about 5.
Yeah, are you missing probably the big ticket ones or the?
Actually, no. A couple of the ones that I'm missing are those 2 J. Scott Campbell covers. I think it's like 606 and 607.
Okay.
The only reason they're worth anything is just because they're J. Scott Campbell covers.
Are they variant covers or are they regular covers?
No, they're the main cover.
Oh.
It's black. He drew Black Cat, and people just went crazy for them. And yeah, so it's just I refuse to pay a huge premium just because of the cover, and I'm not even the biggest J. Scott Campbell fan.
Yeah.
So I'm missing those, and then another one, probably the big book that I'm missing is the first appearance of Silk, which I could have gotten for $50 at one point.
Yeah.
But missed out on it, and it shot up right after that. But this is her second appearance. So this is this is the issue right before. I think this is issue 3. Yeah, this is issue 3 of that run, and then her first appearance is in the next issue 4. So that's one I was just randomly missing. I probably paid a couple bucks for that. All right, based on the stickers on this one, it looks like another James Tynion. Yeah, you can see the little Third Eye. So Third Eye must do all his fulfillments. So again, I was a founding member of his Substack. So I imagine this is another.
I'm sorry, whose Substack did you say?
James Tynion.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's another gold foil.
Nice.
This looks like it's for his Wind series. So I don't know what that is worth, but I know it's pretty limited.
Right on.
Fantastic.
I'm not such a huge James Tynion fan. Like, here's the thing. Here's the advantage that Tynion had. He was the first one to announce his Substack and the founding thing. And I didn't realize at the time there were going to be tons of creators doing it. I would not have subscribed to Tynion's $300 level had I known there were going to be a lot of other creators whose work I enjoy more. Not that I don't enjoy James's work. I think he's a fantastic writer. Yeah. But I like the superhero stuff, and clearly, with the Creator Own, he's pivoted over to focusing on horror, and I'm not the big horror guy. So I say all that to say, if anybody's watching this and wants those kind of books, reach out to me. I'm not married to them or anything. Okay. Earth 2-0? I don't know why I would have. And on the back, there's a random Superman comic. So let me see what else is in this bag.
Oh, that's good. Maybe you got a Val Zod appearance there? Or?
World's Finest.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that was actually before Val Zod. Okay, I know what this is. Okay, and then, there's 3 different Supermans. And these are pre-crisis Supermans.
Yeah, I got, Oh, man. Yeah. I love those. So, I bought those off the rack, man. I was a diehard Superman fan off the rack back when those were coming out. Man.
So, 5 books here.
Yeah.
You know where I got these? So, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I know a lot of people go on eBay, buy their stuff. CGC has a forum, right, where you can go and people talk about their grades and whatever. But there's a for sale section of the CGC forums where people sell books. You can get really good deals, good prices on stuff. So I think I missed the Earth 2-0 issue when it came out. So I didn't have that. I had the rest of the run. And then I was missing those other issues for my pre-crisis Superman run. And I think the reason I got the World's Finest Zeros because I just like the cover. And those were 50 cents each. And then I paid $5 for shipping. So it's a flat rate for shipping. Usually if you get more books, it brings down the price per book for shipping. So that's probably why I picked up that World's Finest. But I definitely recommend going to those CGC forums and checking it out because you can get some pretty good deals, like I said. They got slabs and some of the stuff super expensive. Golden Age, really expensive. Golden Age.
It sort of reminds me. Forbes magazine just had an article on Whatnot, the Whatnot site where you can buy a lot of comics and collectibles. The guys apparently Whatnot's worth over $3.5 billion now. It's really taken off. So it's quite something.
Fast.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing. A lot of times, the more you buy, you save on shipping. But the thing I don't like about Whatnot is it's easy to, because it's live auction. It's easy to get carried away and bid more than fair market value for something if you're going up against somebody. Oh, you're not going to beat me. So I've gone on Whatnot, but I've never bought anything there. I've just watched some of the auctions.
Got to be careful, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a Kickstarter by Ashley Victoria Robinson, who's a friend of mine, Aurora and the Eagle. It's about a female Canadian superhero. She is herself Canadian. She just actually got her U.S. citizenship this year. So looking forward to checking that out.
She's leaving. She's leaving us. I'm a Canadian. She's leaving our country. What's going on?
She lives in the United States and has for quite a while. Her husband is American.
Oh well, I guess we can forgive her, but I'll have to check out that comic, Aurora. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, Aurora and the Eagle. So this is another crowdfunded. You guys, if you can see, this one's Zoop. And again, no idea what this crowdfunded might be. Okay, so this is David F. Walker, Eisner Award winner, called Imposter Syndrome. So this is a bit of an anthology talking about the things that, if you know David, matter to him, equality and diversity and that sort of thing.
Right.
So we had him on the show earlier this year
Right.
to talk about.
Didn't David Walker? Didn't he collaborate with Bendis on? Didn't he collaborate with Bendis on Naomi?
On Naomi, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
And then he won the Eisner for his collaboration on Bitter Root with Chuck Brown and Spencer Green.
Right on.
They won the Eisner for that back to back years. They won for Bitter Root. All right, so this is kind of similar to Tynan and Substack, and man, they really. So Gemini Mailer and the stuff is really taped in here good. So much like Tynan, another early adopter of Substack was Scott Snyder. And although I'm not the biggest fan of Scott's work, at least his work at DC, Rocky and I both feel that his creator-owned stuff he's been doing this year is probably some of the best stuff he's ever done. And more than that, I just wanted to support Scott. I mean, not that I thought that he wouldn't have the support that he needed on Substack, but I always like to support Scott because he's such a great guy. He's so great to press and great to fans. So, yeah, I was a founding member of his Substack as well, the $300 tier. And I think because of that, they sent out this package to the founding members with some special covers that are only available to the founding members. So you've got Noctera.
Nice. Is that like a trade paperback, or is that?
Yeah, that's a trade. This is the first volume of the trade. I'm not sure if this is an exclusive cover, but the first volume of the trade of Noctera, which I do recommend if you guys haven't read it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Fantastic. Yeah, it is Tony Daniel's best work. And then, can you see that? That is a lenticular cover.
Yeah.
You see that it's got the teeth.
The teeth, yeah.
And then Val, who is one of the drivers of the big rigs, and then you can see it's signed by Tony and Scott up there at the top. So that is really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll probably need to get that framed. And then We Have Demons is another one of his best jacket, Comixology. You can see it's signed by Scott down there, signed by Greg. And this is a cover that was available, but this version doesn't have the trade dress.
Right.
So a rare version for.
I'm jealous, man. We Are Demons. We reviewed that series. That was excellent. That was really good. We enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, both those series are really, really great. All right, this single book got a Golden Age sticker on the back of it. I don't know if that means it's super old. Again, I appreciate them, boxing up this stuff so well, but this is the back. And then let me see what it is, and then I flip it over. So I've got to actually open the bag to see what it is. Which again, if I didn't have 75,000 packages, it'd be easier for me to know what this stuff is. Oh, okay, another early Spider-Man that I needed.
Oh my God!
So that is, I want to say it's the first appearance of Manwolf. Not J. Jonah Jameson Jr., not John Jameson Jr., but when he transforms into Manwolf.
Yeah.
So this, again, was another one that I was missing. that I've needed for a long time. And anytime I found a price that I thought was good, the condition was not good. But I found the right balance. And I think, this one was a little pricey.
What did you say the first appearance of who?
Manwolf.
Manwolf. Oh, okay.
So this,
right,
which that's J. Jonah Jameson's son, John Jameson. You can see J. Jonah there screaming. He's an astronaut. He goes to the moon, finds some kind of stone that transforms him into that that beast, that creature.
Right on.
So, fantastic.
Yeah, that's one I've been looking for a long time. All right, big box here. It's from Jay and Silent Bob Deliver. So.
Oh wow.
And I'm not a big Kevin Smith fan in terms of his movies or whatever. I like them well enough. It's not like I've seen every one of them or what have you, but I did at one point join the Kevin Smith Club. Just because I was saving money. I was going to so many Kevin Smith events, so I got a Kevin Smith Club t-shirt. I was going to so many Kevin Smith events, it was cheaper for me to just join the class. And the whole reason I was going to the events is to try to get him to come on the podcast. And then there's a calendar.
2004 calendar?
Yeah.
So you waited a long time to open that up, didn't you?
I have not had this since 2004. This box came within the last month or so, I think. But I say I'm not a big fan of Kevin Smith movies or whatever, and that's not to say I think they're bad. Not at all. I haven't seen most of them. It's not something I go out of my way to do is watch Kevin Smith movies. But I will say this: I'm a huge fan of his comic work. The book that he's been doing, Masquerade, recently is fantastic, and I'm a fan of Kevin himself. Like Kevin, if you've ever met him, like he's so good to his fans. He's so personable. He's so interested in his fans and what they do, and he's got fans that he's become really good friends with, and he's just a really great guy. So I didn't mind supporting his Kevin Smith Club, as it were. And he started that up during the pandemic when he wasn't getting to do live shows and stuff, and he wanted a way to still be able to connect to his fans, and they've kept it going. Okay, here's another book that I'm specking on a little bit. This one, again, Marvel spec. So we saw earlier I had the first appearance of Monica Rambeau. This is her in the Mighty Avengers. I think this is her first cover appearance after she becomes Photon or whatever her current.
Or is it Photon now, or Plasma, or Photon, or
yeah, something. But yeah, Mighty Avengers. And there's speculation that this lineup might appear in a future Avengers movie.
Oh, cool.
Since we know all the current actors have made their money and they're moving on now. So again, I must have gotten that. I don't spec on Marvel a lot unless I can get a really, really good price. I was either hunting around on eBay late at night for something else and came across that drunk, or I got a deal that was too good to pass up, or maybe both.
Speaking of drunk, toast, my friend.
Yeah, my ice is melting, and cheers.
Cheers. I'm sipping Vanilla Crown. What are you drinking?
Buffalo Trace Bourbon Old Fashioned.
Wow.
It's my drink of choice.
So you got a shot. You got a Mandarin. You got a Mandarin orange in that too, or?
No, I didn't have any oranges, so I did use orange flavored bitters. And of course the circular ice cube.
Close enough.
This, as I'm cutting open this latest book or two books or whatever, it'd be a good time to mention. Be sure you guys are subscribing to Rocky's channel, where we're posting this crazy thing for all our other content that we put out.
And the Comic Source podcast, and the Comic Source podcast YouTube channel too. I mean,
doing that, and also leave comments if you guys are interested in any of those Tynan books, or we made some mistake about what I was specking on. Here's another book I needed probably for my Spider-Man run at some point. I'm not sure why I was missing that. It's 432, which is really near the end of that very first run. So
is it? Can I ask? Is your primary focus on your Spider-Man? Is it Amazing Spider-Man run, or is it all the Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's amazing. When I get to the point where I've finished not that I'm going to buy an Amazing One or Amazing Fantasy, but when I get to the point where all I have left are really huge books, I've thought about maybe going over to do a run of Spectacular. I might do that. I haven't completely decided. I might pivot over to something else. I mean, there's any number of runs I'm working on, like Spider-Man run, which I did an amazing job putting that together during the pandemic, and that was to replace a run that I had stupidly sold when the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie came out. I think I had 8 copies of the first Carnage. Why didn't I was like, you had 8 copies, dude. Why didn't you hang on to at least one?
But who knew, right? I mean, comics in 2021. I mean, everybody thinks, anybody who brags and claims that they were psychic and knew that 2021 was going to happen. I mean, blow it out your ass. I mean, there's no way, comic books were dormant for like forever, except for some boom years and bust. And then all of a sudden we get hit with the pandemic and what the hell?
Yeah,
but prices are coming down now. Prices are normalizing, and there's a lot of retailers and sellers in denial, and their prices are, remaining, stagnant. There's a lot of very stubborn sellers out there that just aren't coming down, and they're not selling. But whatever.
Yeah, so I have some other long-term, like Captain America run, a Hulk run. Again, I've got most of it. I've got the majority of Captain America. I've got the majority of Hulk, Iron Man as well. So those are kind of the 4: Amazing Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, and typically those last 3, Hulk, Iron Man, and Captain America, they're typically characters that only had one series out at a time. So you can kind of follow it chronologically as it goes from one volume to the next, as opposed to Spider-Man, that most popular character, and we had multiple volumes of different stuff. So those are kind of the 4 Marvel runs I'm working on, and then I'm not really working on anything on DC other than Action Comics and Detective right now. So you'll appreciate this, Rocky.
Right on.
See if this. If you know what this is. I mean, I know you know the series.
Well, yeah.
So there's 1. I don't know why I did this. 2, 3, 4, 5.
What?
6.
Is
7.
this the first appearance of the Help?
8, 9. Yeah, I think there's 10. I think we must have doubled up on one.
Wow,
yeah,
is that what it is?
I bought 10 copies.
Of the first appearance of the Help. Is that what it is?
Of the first appearance of the Help, yeah. I think they were $3 each plus shipping, so I paid less than cover.
Wow.
And who knows?
You know what? It's moves like that are, frankly brilliant. I mean, once in a blue moon, I'll buy more than like 3 or 4 copies of something just on a gut feeling. And so good on you, man, because hey, you never know. Because all it takes is it's an interesting character. You never know. You might see him in the next movie. You just never know, right?
Yeah, he should show up for the next Batman movie, and then I'll be happy as a clam, Like, who wouldn't want 10 copies of the first Carnage right now? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, you're never going to live that down, man. Eight copies of the Carnage, and you got rid of it, and so now you're overcompensating. But it's all good. We're all there, man. We're with you. We love you.
Yeah. Anybody who's collected comics for a long time and sold any. Yeah.
I know exactly. We've all been there. Yeah, it's good. It's a good feeling to have, Yeah.
Oh, and here, just to be covered.
Oh, you got the variant?
I got two copies of the variant of the Help as well.
I really like that. Who's the cover artist on that?
You know what? I'm not sure.
That's gorgeous. That's nice. I love the Catwoman face. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's definitely a gorgeous cover. Well, it's kind of you got Gordon down there with the bat signal, Penguin, Riddler. Yeah, it might be. I mean, this one is for sure David Marquez, the interior artist.
Yeah.
So, you know what? This might be Mikel Yanin.
Really?
Kind of looks a bit like him, but yeah,
could be a bit, maybe. Yeah, sure.
I'll have to look that up later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 12 copies of the first appearance of the Help. That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, they were $3 each, and
you know what? I tell you what, if you're buying 10 copies and you're sober, I'd love to see what you do when you're drunk.
Well, I may have heard, I may have talked to somebody at DC, and they said they had plans for him or something. I don't know. This is what happens again when you wait so long to open stuff up. but yeah, it wouldn't. He was a really interesting character, and I would be not surprised at all if Chip Zdarsky brought him in to some. If he had brought him into the Knight series, would have been interesting, or if he does something with him in the future. You know, because clearly he's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because I think it's a Tom King creation, right? The Help. I'm assuming Tom, because I know Zdarsky probably, there's probably no communication between Zdarsky and Tom King, but the Help does seem like somebody that would be part of Batman's formative years. So you got two more.
Two more of the variant. Yeah. I guess I paid a little more for those ones. Looks like I paid.
Oh my God! You definitely had the Help on your mind. I tell you what.
I'm all in. I'm all in on the Help, guys. If anybody wants to buy some first appearances of the Help,
let's do it.
Yeah, you probably can go on eBay and find them for cheaper than I can sell them to you. All right, this is a hard pack of some sort. Oh, this is The Trap. So this is a Kickstarter that I backed way back in 2020. I don't know if you guys can see the credits there. See
Lance Briggs and Kyle Higgins.
Yeah, Lance Briggs, as in former linebacker for Chicago Bears.
Oh, really?
He's a huge comic book fan, and so and Kyle's a friend and a creator who I admire and love his work. So yeah, he reached out at some point and asked if him and Lance could come on the show to talk about The Trap, and they did, and it intrigued me and sounded really interesting, futuristic, kind of a have not kind of story about. A young boy, you can see them there at the bottom, just trying to, find his way in the world. So,
right on.
Yeah, looking forward to reading that. A lot of times when I do Kickstarter interviews, I get a chance to get like a press preview or at least get to read a little bit of the story. And when I had them on, they none of it was done. None of the art, they hadn't gotten any of the art back from their artists. So I haven't read any of that. So. Okay, speaking of, I just mentioned earlier another one of the Marvel runs that I'm putting together right now is Captain America.
Oh, so, is that first appearance of Bucky? Or, Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier. Yeah. It might be. I don't actually. So here's the thing, right? Here's another instance where I bought a lot. I don't need one. I don't need two. I don't need three. I don't need four. I don't need five. But I needed this one. Which I think this is the first appearance of the. I think this one is the first appearance of the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Not mistaken.
That looks more.
So yeah, this was a whole. All the rest of those are duplicates. This was a whole, and it was cheaper to get the lot than to get the whole thing.
Well, that's a good buy. Plus, that's a hell of a buy. It's good to get the lot anyway because they're all fantastic. That's great art. That's Steve Epting art on all the covers, so that's well worth it.
Yeah, and I think at the time when I went looking for this, again, I had a ceiling price in my head, and this I think was right at my ceiling, or it might have been just above my ceiling, but I was getting all the rest. Like I can sell all the rest of these, including number one. And kind of subsidize what I paid for number 6.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's nice. Nice snag.
All right, not even close. We're about halfway through. We're not going to open everything, guys, but we do have a little bit more to go of the stuff that I opened. All right, so I mentioned earlier that Ashley Victoria Robinson's husband is a U.S. citizen. He's also a writer. Has written comics. You may have seen him on DC All Access back in the day. Currently, he's a writer for some TV shows, but his Kickstarter comic is called Super Best Friend. His favorite character is also Superman, and this is the Dan Jurgens cover. So that's his Kickstarter, which is a lot of fun. So it's kind of a modern day Superman take, where the guy that's on the back of that Superman inspired character accidentally revealed the Superman character's secret identity. Think of like the DC analog would be if Jimmy Olsen accidentally posted on an Instagram reel or on TikTok that Clark Kent and Superman were the same person. That's basically what this guy has done. So it's a great story, and
I supported his Kickstarter too. I just got the digital copy though. but it was a good story.
Gotcha. Yeah,
It's a good writer.
I got a couple stickers, and then I got a note from Jason. Let you guys read it, but
Nice.
yeah, so that's great. I've read it already because I got the digital copy too. But I couldn't pass up a Dan Jurgens cover. Dan and Jason are good friends. I'm a big fan of Dan Jurgens as well, obviously being a fan of Superman. So again, here, look at how wildly different. Like some of these, I have to like break into. This is like a flimsy little plastic. It's so wildly different how people ship stuff. Some people, yeah. I mean, look, it's just
Hey, it'll work.
yeah. Hopefully it's not a.
Yeah, it's not an Action Comics #1. You're okay. Or
Yeah, exactly. I do watch a few YouTubers that do comic videos. One of them I've been watching is Bronzeville Comics. He's relatively new. Guy's name's Jim. Super nice. He recently got somebody that he bought a slab from, and they shipped it in a bubble mailer. Just put the slab directly in the bubble mailer, and it showed up. And he took it out of the bubble mailer, and it was falling apart. The case, the slab. You could tell how frustrated he was. Well, look, something new we haven't seen before, right?
Jesus Christ.
I guess it really didn't matter that it wasn't packed that well, but yeah, another 52, week 7.
Fantastic.
Of Kate Kane.
Yeah.
So I'm covered there. I'm not quite covered to the extent I'm covered with the help. But yeah, Kate Kane a little more established.
I don't know. You're pretty close. I think you're at 6 now without it.
Why did I get this? Okay, I have zero idea why I got this. Absolutely no clue. Absolutely no clue. Oh, okay. I was like, this was from that same box. It's a Batgirl Birds of Prey #1. And I'm like, I already have that.
Oh
Why would
my
I buy it
God.
again? But it has a little note here that says something extra. Right there. Something extra. So we just threw this in with the second. So apparently I bought 2 copies from that guy, and he sent along a Birds of Prey #1. Which actually that I did enjoy this series. It's written by his sisters, Shauna and
Benson's.
Julie Benson. Yeah. And they're awesome too. They've become friends over the years and are really talented and fun. But yeah, that's great when sellers throw in stuff. It's really cool when they throw in something that you actually need.
Yeah.
As opposed to something
Because you
I'm
only
like,
have 6 other copies of that 50.
well, I don't, but I don't really have room for extra copies of anything. Like I don't even know. Part of the reason we're doing this unboxing is so I can get these boxes out of the middle of my hallway. But the other aspect of that is I got to find room to put them away. Okay, here we go.
First appearance, right?
First appearance, not Kate Kane, but of Batwoman.
Batwoman. There we go. Yeah.
So yeah, and I remember buying. I think I went on that kick back in January or February. It was early this year where I was like, you know what? I don't think I have enough first appearances of Batwoman. I may not have had anything but the one that was in my 52 run. And I think it had been announced that the Batgirl or the Batwoman TV show had ended. They had canceled it. I think it was right around that time. And there was rumors that the reason they were ending it was they're going to bring Batwoman into the next Matt Reeves Batman movie. Mm. And so I think that was what spurred me to go and look. And again, I got some good deals.
Nice.
Another one. Again, this was a lot. And I know I got a good price on this. And here's the other book that came in the lot.
Oh, nice. Yeah, got the ISIS. Yep.
Yeah, I think I paid $7 for this with like $5 shipping. So, yeah, another good deal.
No, it's good because man, you're gonna get your money back on those ISIS appearances, and I think for sure because that's gonna hit in the next when the next movie, whatever Black Adam does, man, it's gonna hit.
Yeah, and based on how great I thought the movie was, I expect Black Adam to do pretty well. So, and there's another. See, if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly, and you go all in. Because that's the thing. Like some people spec, and if you're specking on these are what I would consider minor keys based on the popularity of these heroes. It's not like I'm buying a first appearance of, Green Arrow or something. But if you just get one and then it goes up, and then you're like, oh well, it could still go up. Now do I want to sell it? So I typically, when I spec on something, I'll buy multiple copies. That way I'm not like, keep one for myself in case it does continue to go up, but still get a chance to hit.
Well, when the price is right too, why not? I mean, like, good Lord knows we piss our money away in other ways. I mean, why not? Yeah, it's not like, I mean, I always laugh when people think you waste your money on comics, and I think to myself, do you want me to scrutinize your life to tell you how you pissed away money in your life over the last 2 weeks alone? The average person, the money they piss away. I mean, at least when I buy comics, I know that I still got the comic, and it's usually bagged and boarded after I've bought it, so I can unload it and get my money back, or more usually.
People that are spending $100 at the bar every night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe on a Friday night.
Yep. Okay, so this is gorgeous. Look at that. This is from the Top Cow Darkness Kickstarter. So Volume 1,
nice.
hardcover. That's a slip jacket.
Yeah, wow.
Super, super nice. It's heavy.
I didn't know you were into the darkness.
Well, I'm more into the Michael Turner. I was a big Michael Turner fan growing up. It's one of my big regrets that I never got a chance to meet him. But because of that, because of being a fan of Michael Turner, it was kind of a gateway to pay attention to stuff Top Cow did. And Matt Hawkins, who's the president of Top Cow and also a writer in his own right, wrote a series back in the day called Think Tank. The first volume of Think Tank, the hardcover collected edition, debuted at San Diego Comic-Con in 2011, I think. And that was the first chance I got a chance to meet Matt in person. And we hit it off. We become friends. And so typically I'll support not everything Top Cow does, but there's certain things like The Darkness that I've never read that I've always been interested in trying out. And that's why I joined this Kickstarter. And again, it was a good deal. So that was Volume 1. Here's Volume 2. And again, I can't stress how, I mean, this thing is just heavy, really quality paper, that Mark Silvestri.
That's awesome. And Mark Silvestri and his Batman just came out in the last little bit. His collaboration on Batman just came out this month.
Yeah. So, really
that's
high quality
gorgeous.
paper. Yeah, there's some Michael Turner art right there.
Yeah.
So,
Gorgeous.
Looking forward to diving into that. I don't know what, this is probably some sort of stretch goal that came with it. And again, that was a Kickstarter, I think, that ran in 2020. This is cool. It's a little bag, like a drawstring bag with the darkness.
Nice.
In case you need to carry the books around while you're reading them, it's like waterproof. Oh, and then of course it's the darkness, right? So got some darkness sunglasses. And it even says on one of the arms.
Darkness. Well, that's pretty cool.
So, I think the bag and the sunglasses were probably the stretch goals. All right, here's another big box. No idea. Oh. Okay. Again, tons of bubble wrap. This is a huge lot of stuff. I'll just go through quickly. Again, I talked about needing to complete my Superman run, and there were some runs during the New 52 of Superman, and also in the Triangle era where I just fell off, busy doing other things. And so again, I got these for like $1 a piece on the CGC forums.
That's past the Triangle era. That's New 52, isn't it?
This is New 52.
Yeah.
But then back here, there's some older ones.
Right.
From Jeff Johns' run, World Without a Superman.
Yeah, nice.
But there's another. I won't open them all. There's another big run, and another, and another. So
wow.
I think it was like probably around 100 books that I got for $1 a piece, just to fill in runs. So
nice.
Yeah, just a big sack. That's all Superman stuff. And there's a guy on there who is in that selling thread, who he's selling these books for a woman it's her husband's collection. He passed away, and so he's just goes through anything that's worth really high dollar amount. If it's worth having graded, he'll send it off to be graded.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he puts it up for fair market value, and then whoever says in the first to reply in the thread, I'll take it, gets it. And then some of the books are $1. And if I need it to fill my run and it's $1, and again, I think I paid maybe $15 for the shipping for 100 books to fill out a run, which brings me to the last box.
Oh my God. Is that actually full?
So yeah.
Wow.
Again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but this is a detective run.
Oh wow. That's the Death of Spoiler.
Yep.
At the Hand of Black Mask, I believe it was.
And some of these are books I already had.
Yep.
But again, I'm trying to fill out my run of detective, and I paid less than $1 a piece.
Oh, is that Coletta? Is that a Coletta cover?
I think so. So again, it's just some of the stuff's quite old.
Yeah.
Here's a classic Michael Golden cover.
Right.
So I need to go through this and pull out what I actually need. Here's the anniversary issue.
Right.
627. So typically, if it's a big lot like this, and I buy it, like if I need 75%, 80%, depending on the price, I'll pull the trigger on the run and then see if, I've neglected, I need to put a bunch of comics on my eBay store so I can kind of subsidize some of these big runs that I've gotten. But yeah,
nice.
I mean, this whole box is full of detectives, so it's probably, I think it was 200 issues of detective, and I think I paid like $80 for it plus shipping. So there's no huge keys in it, but I probably need, again, 80%, 75, 80% of these books I need for my detective run that I'm putting together. So yeah, I think a lot of the stuff around Nightfall is the stuff that I have.
Nice. Yeah.
Night's End, when Bane broke his back and all that. But a lot of the other stuff I don't have. Detective's just not a book that I collected back in the day. So yeah, here you go. Nightfall. It's probably a familiar cover to many people.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's my unboxing. Still got some more to go, but put a huge dent in it. Clearly the big winners of tonight were first appearance of Kate Kane.
Yeah.
And first appearance of The Help.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I'm more surprised. It's funny. I'm surprised. Kate Kane. I can get behind that. The Help. I thought that is you impressed me because that's taking a deep dive. That's what you call a subtle spec. That's the type of spec where you kind of like, I do that too every now and then, where I don't tell nobody what I'm specking on because I have it in my head that, well, if I share my vast knowledge or my whatever I think is some profound knowledge, it's like I don't want to jinx myself, so it's like, okay, it's like, so
here's the thing about specking on something for DC like that. For Marvel, you can't do that anymore. You can't go buy a first appearance of somebody in the last 3 or 4 years for like $3 each, because everybody specs on Marvel because they've had so much content, movie, TV kind of stuff. Anytime a first appearance comes out, you hear about it. You hear about it the day before.
And their Star Wars is even worse. Their Star Wars comics are even worse. Like, I mean, they're specking on it before it's even like on the first day. It's insane.
It's already, you go on eBay and it's already $10 or $15. And it's like the book hasn't even come out yet. And it's Star Wars. But there was a character that appeared recently in a Black Panther book, and it was like a young guy, and there was some rumor going around that he might be the next, after Shuri, he would be the next, bearer of the mantle of Black Panther in the MCU, since Chad Boseman tragically passed away. And I remember it was like it was the day that it came out, and I was going to go ahead and pick one up. I'm like, why not? But yeah, my shop, normally they have like 7 copies to put out, but they were already gone. And I got there when the door opened. Like, it was already people that had called and asked them to add it to their pull box. And I called around to a couple of the other shops, and they're like, nope, don't have any. I'm like, you guys have been open for 5 minutes. Like, yeah, already gone. Like,
yeah, no, that's insane. That is, but I mean, that's part of the lifeblood of comics. That's what makes this fun. And, there's always something to spec on. And, that's sort of this is sort of why, I mean, we're doing this unboxing. We're shooting the shit on a Friday night and having some fun and specking and doing some, it is what it is. And, you never know what's going to hit. And that's what makes comics so much fun to collect. The important thing is to drink Crown while you're doing it.
100%. And here's the thing, like, I get more fun. Like, yes, I spec on things, obviously. You see, I've got multiple copies of certain things. But, it's more fun for me than actually hitting on a spec. It's actually completing a run, like you said, that the hunt, or being patient and getting a great deal on something like that first appearance of Monica Rambeau. Like, I could have pulled the trigger any number of times on a previous copy for more money that was actually the quality wasn't as high, but I was patient and I waited and I got a great price. Mm-hmm. And, people are like, oh, eBay overpriced, blah, blah. If you're patient and you wait, and a lot of times what you have to do, you have to find the auctions that end at random times, like in the middle of the night. Because what a lot of people do, and I do this too, I don't want to get stuck in a bidding war. So when I bid on something on eBay, I bid when there's about a minute left.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm going to tell you an eBay story I have. The one that I get the biggest kick out of is that I bid on a bunch of Superman comics on eBay. I had every single one of the Superman comics. I had all of them. Why would I bid on it? And I bid like $45. There was 15 Superman comics, totally inconsequential. He wanted $40, overpriced, but there was 2 Dave Stevens covers. One was a Rocketeer, and all my questions to him, totally strategic. I was asking him questions about the Superman comics and I'm this, totally bullshitting the guy. I didn't want to leave him on that. He got rid of, like, there was 2 early Dave Stevens covers. One was a Rocketeer cover and the other one was, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was one of the more, it was one of his more rare covers. It was, for his, it was Space Vixens. It was Space Vixens.
Oh yeah. So one of those cheesecake ones that he.
Anyway, so I paid $45 American for like 15 Superman comics, but these 2 Dave Stevens comics. I mean, each of these were like $15 each. So I probably still overpaid, maybe even with that, because the Superman comics are worth nothing. But I didn't care because Dave Stevens is such a hard. It's hard. He's increasingly difficult to because he's hard to find Dave Stevens covers because most people are aware of his art because he's got a very distinctive style.
Yeah.
But anyways, but like you said, it's what we're prepared to do. Well, I'll buy a crap load of stuff that I'm not interested in just to get that one that I've been looking for years,
Yeah. Yeah. That chance that I had to get the first appearance of Silk. It was in a run. It was in a run of that volume of Amazing Spider-Man, and I get the guy had it. Nobody had bid. He had just listed it. Nobody had bid, and he had the thing up where you could make him an offer, and I made him the offer, and he declined it, and he's like no, I don't want to do it for that. And then I was going to go back and offer him more, but in the meantime, between the time he declined the offer and it wasn't that long, but he declined the offer, and then it took a little bit for me to see the email, like maybe an hour or two. And in that time that he declined it, and I saw the email, somebody else went and bid. So if you're not familiar with eBay, if you put a best offer on there, that best offer, it's only good until somebody actually bids on it. Then it takes it away. So I was like, well, that sucks. Now I can't make him, another offer. I was just basically going to offer him right what he was at, what his list price was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if he realized that he had that. So then on the day that it came for the auction, it went for and that first Silk I think is like $200 now.
Yeah.
And he had it listed for like $49.99, and I should have just offered him like $60, he probably would have jumped at it, offered him over what he had it listed at instead of I think I offered like 45.
Yeah.
He's like, no. And so I totally screwed myself. And then when it came time for the auction to end, I was somewhere where I couldn't have access to try to, because I probably still would have went in on it and gotten it because it still would have been a decent price. But yeah, that's one of those where I totally blew it. Totally on me that I messed that up. And now it's one of the books probably the biggest book I still need, above whatever 200, above 300, I'll say, because I don't have a 248, which is the first Hobgoblin, and I don't have a 252, which is first Black Costume. And then from 100 to 200, I need, I think, about 40 books, and I don't have a 129. And then below 100, I've got a scatter shot here and there. Certainly don't have a number 1 or a 14, which is the first Green Goblin, or a 50. Don't have a 50 either, which is the first Kingpin. So someday I might pick those up, but I'm not looking to spend a pretty penny. I just want to have a complete run. I'm willing to get, a lower end copy. I mean, I've held a Amazing One in my hand before at a San Diego Comic-Con. That was Norm Ratman's, the DC inker. He had bought it that year. It was a 0.5, but you know what? It was complete and it was his. He owned it. So,
oh man.
Anyway, thanks for hanging out, Rocky.
Well, it's all good, man. It's awesome.
Interesting to see what I was specking on. I'm sure
we will have a second unboxing for sure. Maybe even a third one. I know you got more boxes to go through. It's it's good to just sort of like unbox and unwind and discover what you purchased while you were both sober, and I'm sure inebriated a couple times, because you can't possibly have bought that many copies of 52 number 3. Is it? Is that what it was?
52. Yeah, 52. No, 50. Number 3. No, I think it's number 7.
Number 7, the first appearance of Kate Kane, right?
Yes, first appearance of Kate Kane.
And you have 10 copies of Killing Time number 3, right?
10 copies of the regular cover.
Regular cover, yeah.
4 copies of, and that doesn't include whatever I bought the week that it came out. So I still have my own personal copies. 4 copies of the variant cover, and but here's the other thing about a lot of this stuff that I've bought, right? Like a lot of this stuff, like I said, I do sell stuff on eBay myself. So I'll sell stuff on eBay, and the money goes in my PayPal, and then I just turn around and use that to buy this stuff. So when you think about it like that, it's like I'm trading away these past stuff that I bought for spec, or duplicates of stuff that I bought with runs, and I'm just turning it into other spec, like any dealer will do. But I don't do it seriously or full time enough to like really make money at it. I mean, again, I do watch some of these guys that have the YouTube channels. Bry's Comics is another one, and he talks about being able to fund have the hobby fund itself if you're willing to put in the time. I just don't have the time to do that, but
I don't have the time either.
Yeah,
I mean, no, I buy what I like. I buy what I enjoy, and at some point, I mean, honestly, I'm getting up there. Probably in about 5-10 years time, I should probably think of unloading my collection and just giving back to the community. And I'm realistic enough to know that if I ever had to like for any of us, if we have to unload our collection quickly, we're not going to get what it's actually worth if we had the patience and time to do it. We all know that it's not rocket science collecting and buying and selling comics. It's easy to catch on to, it's not rocket science. But we do it. We don't do it because we're not becoming billionaires doing this. We love the hobby. We love doing it. We love the thrill of the hunt. I mean, we're sipping Crown. You're sipping an old fashioned, and I'm sipping Crown and Coke, and we're regaling and we're expressing joy over, Killing Time number 3, having 14 copies of it in various forms. I mean, life is good. This is what you call a first world problem, my friend.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Hey, if it hits and you need one, I mean, let's go. I said Carnage. I think maybe to go even a little more recent than Carnage. Now, granted, The Help doesn't have his own series yet, but he could. He's an interesting enough character. But what if you could turn the clock back a little bit and go and buy, 10 copies of the regular cover and 4 variants of Ultimate Fallout 4?
Yeah.
Right, first appearance of Miles Morales.
I got Ultimate Fallout 4 issues 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. I don't have issue number 4, and the reason why is because I wasn't collecting the series. It wasn't on my pull list, and because I wasn't really into Miles. But every I went to the comic shop and I'd see it And so I would just take it off the shelf. Well, issue 4 wasn't on the shelf, so I just skipped it, but I bought 5 or 6. It never even occurred to me. They said, oh, there's this new character, Miles Morales, Black Spider-Man. And contrary to what a lot of people might lead you to believe now, the Black Spider-Man was not popular when he first came out. A lot of people weren't. That's why he's so popular now. Now everyone's jumping on, oh, I love Miles. I love Miles. Where the fuck you love Miles? There's all kinds. You didn't love Miles. You hated Miles. I know that as a fact. Nobody bought Miles. I mean, give me a break. There's a reason why Ultimate Fallout 4 is so goddamn rare to find. It's because nobody bought it, you know?
Yep. It wasn't printed in high quantity. So I have a similar story when Harley Quinn started blowing up, really blowing up after her New 52 series hit from Jimmy and Amanda. I was like, I have a run of Batman, adventures, and at the time, I think it was like a $75 book. So I go through 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 11, and then I know 12 and then 13. And I was like, I swear I got this. I swear, I went through every box. I tore through. At that time, I was still living at my house in California, and I didn't have all my books consolidated in one place. So I was up in the attic, I was in the closets, whatever, trying to find it. I never did find it. And I think basically what happened, I mean, she was, as opposed to Miles, people knew Harley from the animated series, and she was more popular. But again, Batman Adventures wasn't a book that was on my pull. So when I'd go to my LCS, I would usually just grab it off the rack. Mm-hmm. And there must not have been one because it had Harley on the cover. And I wouldn't even go. I wouldn't go. That shop I would go on because it was in the next town. I'd go on Fridays, not on Wednesdays. And I think actually back then it might have been Tuesdays that comics came out. But anyway, regardless, I didn't have it. Still don't have it to this day. But I mean, on the other hand, if I had it at that time, I probably would have sold it for relatively cheap. I wouldn't have hung on to it, and it still would have shot up, and I still would have been disappointed. Similar thing with my Deadpool. My first appearance of Deadpool, I was buying New Mutants 98, New Mutants at the time, because I don't care what anybody says about making fun of Rob Liefeld, the guy can't draw, whatever. Everybody was into Rob Liefeld back then. Yeah. Everybody. It was new art. It was dynamic, and people loved it. Say what you want about the guy and his art now, but back then, I know there's people that say, oh, I never liked him, whatever. Like, you liar. Why did this book sell millions of copies? Because people loved it. So everybody was buying it back then. And this was not so long ago. So maybe 2012, 2013. I had a friend that was trying to put together a huge X-Men run. All of it, right? Like Uncanny X-Men, regular X-Men, New Mutants, all that stuff. And that was a big book that he was missing. And I said, I have a copy. I don't care. I'll sell it. He's like, well, what do you want for it? I'm like, I don't know, $100. So I sold it, $100. I bought it off the rack, and it wasn't like a 9.8 or anything, but I had read it once and then stuck it in the bag and board. It was at least an 8.0. I have no idea what that book's worth now, but it's more than $100. Oh, yeah. So, you know, I have mixed feelings about it. I did sell it to a friend. It was helping him complete a run. So I'm glad that he got it. It means more to him, but I could have made more on it. But then that all comes back around, right? Like my Amazing Spider-Man 300 that I got from a friend that's actually in that same group of friends, one of the West Coast Valiant guys. Yeah. And he knew I was trying to put together Amazing Spider-Man, and he's like, "Do you need a 300?" I'm like, "I sure do." And he's like, "Oh, I have one that's signed by Stan Lee." And I'm like, "What do you want for it?"
You know, that's a hell of a story. I have the opposite story and I'm actually the rare exception to what you just said, because I started collecting New Mutants from issue 1, and I literally stopped at issue, because I in the last few years I've taken my comics out of storage and I've rebagged and reboarded them. And I stopped collecting New Mutants at issue 79 or 82. Oh. And the reason why, I remember vividly, because the writing sucked, in my opinion. I really did. Like, I was always a DC guy, and I only collected Marvel, and it was very easy for me. I would continue to collect DC comics, even if they sucked a little bit, because I was a DC diehard. But Marvel had to be really good stories, and I had to like the characters. New Mutants I got tired of. And then Rob Liefeld, he started his run, and anyways, get this. So somebody said, well, you should, it's getting better. So I picked it up. I picked up free copies of New Mutants after I stopped collecting it, and I collected the Deadpool first appearance. I bought his first appearance off the rack at the time. Thought it sucked. I stopped collecting it after. So do I have? I have the first appearance of Deadpool. I do.
You have a 98.
I do. I have it, but I only have the issue before and the issue after, and that's it. And because I truly I didn't like the story, right? And I thought these characters are going nowhere. I genuinely thought at the time, I'm not a huge fan of this particular artistic style, but I was still a fanboy. Yeah. I got the whole Youngblood. I got like the first 3 or 4 issues of Youngblood.
Did you buy any of his X-Force with the
bag? I got his first 5 or 6 issues of X-Force and everything, but it all piddled off, right? But no, I was on the bandwagon like with a lot of people, but at the same time, because I was such a strong DC guy, I never got totally sucked into the whole Image revolution. I was in for for Spawn, the first 12, 13 issues, and I just sort of piddled away and wore off. But anyways, it's just kind of fun. So I got lucky, but I got lucky on the Deadpool first appearance, and I almost feel kind of guilty about it because I never really was into the character. I thought Gail Simone put Deadpool on the map. That's another issue.
Yeah, her and Joe Kelly.
I just thought they made him funny. Gail Simone made him like the person he is today. That's my recollection, but I know that's probably not true. I don't know, but anyways, but Joe Kelly was too. I love Joe Kelly's Superman run too. He did a good Superman run. But anyway, well, good Lord, I still have a little bit left of my Vanilla Crown.
I'm about halfway through, but that's because a lot of the ice is melted.
Well, I'm gonna before we go, we are going to be reviewing Black Adam tomorrow morning, which is October 22nd at about, I think, what is it, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time?
9 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, do we want to do that as a live stream, or are we going to record it and put it out?
Actually, we'll probably record it and put it up, so it'll be up by probably noon tomorrow on the 22nd. I want to give a teaser here. This is these are my action figures that are in the background. I got another camera and I spent. What's that?
Those are McFarlane toys?
These are all McFarlane toys, and believe it or not, this isn't a picture on the internet. This is right in front of me. I took another webcam and I placed my webcam just right below all these action figures, and I spent like 20 minutes placing these action figures exactly where they need to be. So, and I did that while I was drinking Crown and Coke, so I'm particularly proud of myself. and
the only nitpick I have is Cyclone. Her skin tone's not dark enough.
Well, it's probably because the light's too bright. Because I got a giant light right in front of her. But
Gotcha.
As I don't think I'll be spoiling anything from our review. I know you and I both really enjoyed the movie, and I love the movie. But I have I think you and I. Well, maybe I shouldn't speak for you, but I know you love DC. I have a strong DC bias, and I went in expecting this movie to suck because I heard a middle of the road, 50-50 Rotten Tomatoes score, but I found myself I thought it was really good. I'm really looking forward to reviewing it tomorrow with you and telling people go see Black Adam. Go see Black Adam.
Yeah, and again, everybody, we will be spoiling. So if you haven't seen it and you plan on seeing it and don't want it spoiled, you can still tune in to the first half of the episode. We'll talk about just Black Adam in general and some of his runs and comics and things you might want to know or read ahead of time to get the most out of the movie, or maybe you even read it after. And then for the second half is when we'll talk about story beats and moments in the movie where, you can listen to the first half and then we'll give a warning. And then you can, shut it off, go see the movie and come back and listen to it and see if you enjoyed it as much as we did. So, Rocky, thanks again, man. I'm glad we got to do this. It was a lot of fun. I can't believe some of the stuff that I bought 14 copies of The Help.
All right.
But yeah, don't forget, everybody, head over to YouTube. You're on YouTube now, so subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Comic Space Boom ! Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, let us know what you think about my crazy help speculation and that sort of thing. And if you want to be sure to not miss out on any of the other Comic Source content that's audio only, just go to wherever you get your podcast and search for the Comic Source and subscribe. A lot of great interviews. J.M. DeMatteis was on recently. We have some more interviews that are going to be coming up soon with some really veteran creators and some more crowdfunding. Since San Diego Comic-Con and getting COVID and just being super busy at the day job, I haven't been doing as many interviews, mostly just crowdfunding when people reach out. But that's going to change as we head into the holidays. 12 Days at the Comic Source, all that sort of stuff, with a ton of creator interviews coming before the end of the year. So just be on the lookout for that.
That's right. And yeah, thanks for letting me join you. And Lord knows I had, I actually enjoy this far more than just, watching TV blindly and pretending to enjoy the next Netflix binge watch show and pretending to enjoy Andor, which, by the way, is sleep inducing. I'm not really into that show. I don't know. Star Wars. I guess I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan, as if I already know how it ends. But in any event, thank you, Jace. And until next time, guys, Comic Boom and Comic Source, we are out of here.
Yep. See you next time, guys.